Hi, my name is Sarah Visker, and I'd like to take some time to share with you some information about the process of an IEP, especially for you as a parent. You are a very valuable member of the IET meeting. Many of the team members will know your child only on paper, their test results, their assessments, but you know your child intimately. You know their past, you know what makes them thrive, you know what causes meltdowns. And because you know your child's history, that information is very, very valuable for the members of your team. And if you can provide detailed accounts of your child's strengths and your child's weaknesses, that will be invaluable for your team. So your involvement as a parent is extremely important. This is also a time where you can share your educational goals for your child and how you want the team members to be held accountable for accomplishing those goals at school. The referral process. This happens when a teacher or a parent notices that there's some learning or behavioral difficulty. The teachers first try some changes to instruction or some modifications in the learning environment. If further action is needed, a formal referral is made for an evaluation for special education services. This, of course, needs to be approved and signed by the parent. If you would like to initiate your child getting referred for special education, you would call your school and ask for the person responsible for the child find and tell them that you are interested in special ed for your child. The school reviews the information and can deny an evaluation, recommend your child for further screening for a full evaluation, or proceed to full and individual initial education evaluation. You have to sign before the school can go any further at this point. The next step of the process is the evaluation. This is a process. The evaluation has many steps. And before the evaluation gets talked about, usually the team will meet and decide which tests are needed. Some different tests that are available are a psychological evaluation where emotions and behaviors are looked at, a psychoeducational test where the cognitive areas of your child will be tested, interviews with their teachers, their family members, and the child are looked at, classroom observations are looked at, functional behavior assessments are done where you can get a better understanding of the struggles your child might have with behavior getting in the way of learning. Other areas are speech therapy, physical therapy, occupational therapy, and all of these evaluations happen at school, and your child probably will be taken out of class and pulled out to do these evaluations. So it's a really good idea to give them a warning. When all the tests are done, you as a parent are given the right to read and record, look at all of those tests 3 days before the eligibility meeting occurs. So make sure that you get a chance to look over those tests before the next meeting. After all of those evaluations are completed, your child will be deemed eligible for special education if they have been determined to have one of the 13 qualifying disabilities, namely autism, deafblindness, deafness, emotional disturbance, hearing impairment, intellectual disability, multiple disability, orthopedic impairment, other health impairments, which includes ADHD, specific learning disability, which includes dyslexia, speech or language impairment, traumatic brain injury, or a visual impairment, including blindness. So if they have any of those disabilities and that disability is determined to impede their progress in learning, they will be eligible for special education. This is for children birth through high school graduation or age 21. If your child is not deemed eligible for special education, you do have other opportunities to seek help for your child, and your team can help you with that. At the IEP meeting, your child's present levels of academic success will be discussed. You will also talk about the behavior and functional performance of your child. You will talk about annual goals. You will talk about any special education that has been provided or that needs to be provided, and as well as any other related services. You will talk about how much of the school day your child will spend in the general education room or in pull-out services or in the special education room. You will also talk about when these services will begin. And finally, you will discuss how progress will be measured. There are certain expectations for communication between a child's parents and the staff at the school. Sometimes these are called procedural safeguards. These safeguards tell parents about their protections and their rights under the idea that protect them in their dealings with federal, state, and local governments. In addition, there will be quarterly progress reports. These are assessments to show a child's academic progress on the IEP goals and to evaluate the effectiveness of instruction. Progress monitoring tells the teacher what a child has learned as well as still needs to work on. And finally, as discussed earlier, there needs to be communication before any evaluations or services are provided between the parent and the staff at the school, and this needs to be a written consent by the parent that services can be provided. This includes when any changes are made to the IEP. A parent needs to be informed and give their consent. Finally, there are ethical responsibilities the teacher has to uphold the integrity of the profession as part of this whole IEP process. You can expect as a parent that the teacher will treat you with respect, will hold your child's dignity with much concern and respect, that all papers from IEP meetings that are not used will be shredded, that your child's work and grades will be kept confidential.